Welcome to the channel Masters of Consciousness. In today's episode, I will introduce you to the spiritual practices of the master Lao Tzu, the legendary philosopher whose words in the Tao Te Ching have inspired rulers, thinkers, mystics, and everyday people seeking inner peace for centuries. Although he lived thousands of years ago, his teachings are more relevant today than ever. He spoke of simplicity, living in harmony with the natural order, the power of gentleness, effortless action, and discovering the self through letting go. Today, we'll explore how to apply these ancient teachings in daily life. This won't be a philosophical lecture, but a series of practical spiritual exercises you can begin right now, no matter where you are or what your life looks like. Let's begin with the key concept, Tao, the way. This is not a physical path, but the natural rhythm of existence that flows through everything, from the movement of clouds to the emotions in the human heart. A simple practice to connect with this is to observe the rhythm around you. Sit quietly, preferably in nature, and simply notice how the wind moves, how the sounds shift, how you breathe. Don't label or analyze anything, just witness. This is the first step to living in Tao, learning from nature, not trying to change it, but listening to its flow. The next practice is the principle of Wu Wei, action through non-action. This doesn't mean passivity, but rather not forcing. Instead of pushing life in a certain direction, try trusting that everything unfolds in its own time. Practically, this means releasing the need to control. Make a list of the things you try to force each day. Relationships, other people's decisions, even your own emotions. And ask yourself what would happen if you let go. Often, real change occurs not when we push, but when we stop interfering with what already wants to happen. A third essential practice is returning to simplicity. Lao Tzu said, "To know when you have enough is to be truly rich." Ask yourself, what do I truly need today to feel calm? Choose one day a week to fast from excess, from technology, from hurry, from information overload. Do something slowly. Eat a meal in silence. Take a walk with no destination. Have a conversation without a phone in hand. Simplicity brings you closer to the way. The fewer things pull your attention, the more space opens within you for real experience. Another key to spiritual practice is accepting impermanence. Lao Tzu taught that all living things change. The tree grows, then withers. Day turns into night. Joy comes and goes. The modern mind tries to cling to what feels good and avoid what feels hard. Yet real strength lies not in holding on, but in aligning with the movement of life. Practice this. Sit with an emotion you usually avoid, maybe sadness, anxiety, or loneliness. Instead of pushing it away, breathe with it. Say inwardly, "This too is part of the way." In doing so, you stop running and begin to understand that everything is temporary, and that's where true freedom begins. A crucial part of the path is humility. Lao Tzu said, "The sea reigns over the rivers because it lies below them." In a world that rewards ego, loudness, and domination, this message is revolutionary. This path doesn't require you to be first, the best, or the most visible. Quite the opposite. It invites you to be like water, soft, adaptable, but unstoppable. A simple exercise for today. Notice when you want to be right. In conversation, in disagreement, in your thoughts. Pause. Ask yourself, what's more important, being right or being aligned with yourself? Giving up the need to dominate doesn't make you weak. It makes you present, calm, and free from conflict. Another daily practice is watching your speech. The master warned against empty words. He encouraged speaking less, but more truthfully. Those who know do not speak. Those who speak do not know. This doesn't mean total silence, but rather mindful communication. Try this exercise. Today, speak only what is necessary, kind, true, and peaceful. If you're unsure whether something should be said, leave it unsaid. You'll be surprised how much energy returns to you when you no longer drain yourself with small talk, complaints, or gossip. This path also includes a beautiful connection with the body, not through rigidity, but through presence. Even a simple walk can become meditation. When you walk, feel your feet touching the earth. When you breathe, feel the air moving inside you. When you wash your hands, notice the water and the texture. Anything can be a spiritual practice when you are present. You don't need sacred temples, incense, or exotic mantras. You only need yourself, here and now, willing to be with what is, without resistance, without hurry, without expectation. One of the most transformative practices is the art of letting go. In a world where we constantly acquire, hold, defend, the idea of release feels radical, yet within it lies the true lightness of being. True strength doesn't lie in clinging, but in the ability to allow things to leave. Take a piece of paper and write down 3 things you're holding on to: people, plans, self-images. Then close your eyes and say to yourself, I don't need to control this. I let it go. Feel the space that opens when you stop trying to hold everything together. Alongside letting go, there is a deep practice of trust, not in a specific god or system, but in the intelligence of life itself. You don't need to know all the answers. You don't need to plan every step. The way reveals itself as you walk it. If you're standing at a crossroads, professionally, emotionally, spiritually, instead of forcing a decision, sit in stillness. Breathe. Ask your heart, what do I truly long for? Don't answer with your mind. Wait. In the trust of that silence, real direction appears. Another vital lesson is in how we relate to others. Lao Tzu didn't speak often of romantic love, but his teachings rest on harmony and respect. Don't try to change others. Change yourself, and the world will shift. Each day offers a chance to practice gentleness in relationships. If someone irritates you, ask yourself, what inside me is reacting? Instead of responding from emotion, pause, breathe, respond from silence. You'll see that many conflicts never needed to happen. You can remain grounded, even in chaos, if you stop identifying with the storm. Stillness is essential, not just as the absence of sound, but as a quality of being. Silence in this path is not escape, it's home. Find at least 10 minutes today when nothing is required of you. Don't meditate, don't think, don't try to accomplish anything. Just be, in breath, in stillness, in space. Whatever arises, let it be, then let it pass. In such moments, you draw closer to the way than in thousands of spoken words. Daily practice doesn't demand perfection. No one expects you to become enlightened overnight. Spirituality is not about flawless discipline. It's a return to naturalness, to your own nature, just as you are, sometimes distracted, sometimes quiet, sometimes full of feeling, and all of it belongs. Every moment is an invitation to awareness. Every breath, every look, every sound. Nothing has to be different for you to be present. When you follow this way each day, something subtle begins to shift. Not a flash of enlightenment or divine revelation, but a quiet inner movement. Instead of fighting reality, you begin to collaborate with it. Instead of chasing a goal, you begin to discover purpose in simply being. What used to be difficult becomes an opportunity. What felt routine becomes a sacred ritual. Life is no longer something to endure. It becomes something to feel deeply. Being in harmony with the way is not about beliefs. It's an experience that happens in silence, in simplicity, in breath. When you wash dishes with attention, you're on the path. When you listen without needing to fix, you're on the path. When you accept your fatigue and know you don't need to prove anything, you're on the path. And when you forget, it's okay. The way doesn't disappear. It waits patiently for your return. Because true spirituality isn't about never getting lost. It's about coming back, over and over again, with greater softness. I'll leave you with one of the most powerful teachings from this path. He who knows others is wise. He who knows himself is enlightened. Knowing yourself is a lifelong journey, a daily willingness to look in the mirror, not with judgment, but with curiosity. How do I feel today? What moves me? What hurts? What gives me peace? You don't need to understand everything. You only need to be present. Thank you for being with me today. Thank you for your attention, your presence, and your openness to practice. If this message resonated with you, please subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with someone who might need it. Together we are building a space where spirituality becomes daily life. Not something distant, but something close. Not mystery, but practice. Remember, within you there is a silence that never fades. Within you there is a wisdom that needs no words. And within you there is a light that does not need proof to shine. Live gently, breathe consciously, walk your path, not to be seen, but to be true to who you really are. See you in the next episode. May the way be with you.